Right, guys, welcome back to the podcast, episode number 13, season 2. We're back by popular demand. It's a reunion everyone's been asking for, not Oasis. Because, Nick, we're not talking about that hour because you didn't get your tickets.
No. Sore subject.
Although I'm sure there'll be a lot of 20-something-year-olds who've never heard them live and never seen them live that have got tickets ahead of you.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Yeah. So, first episode back, so we're going to have just a light reintroduction into the podcast. So we're going to touch on a few things that we did in season 1, and then a look ahead to what we've got coming up, what we've been doing. Because I think the last time we actually met was the week of the Euros final, wasn't it? That was
we all predicted England would win. And
Yes.
we were all wrong.
Yeah.
Again.
That's another subject you brought up, Oasis and England not winning the Euros. That's a great story.
Yeah. So should we just touch on Burnley's defeat recently?
No. Leave that.
Cool. So season 1, we got 12 episodes in the bank, a number of guests on. I think from when we initially started talking about it in November, December last year, I think very positive feedback that we got was really good from colleagues, friends, staff, etc. Hence why we're here again for season 2. But big thank you to all the people who gave their time to come on. So Lisa, Steve, Carl, Lucy from Unseen, Tim and Kerry from ULife, where you're still not top of the Adept leaderboard on the steps.
No, I'm never going to get there. We've got security officers who patrol for 12 hours.
It's a 30-day cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got like 600,000 steps. It's wild.
It's ridiculous.
I'm half
Massive,
that.
isn't it? I think you were third last time I looked.
I'm third this morning as well.
Yeah.
So not that I check and
Every
get
day.
angry that
Twice
I'm
a
not
day.
winning.
Yeah.
But you were way behind, to be honest.
At one stage.
How are you on the leaderboard, Al?
I don't know. I've only just charged my watch up, so that's my excuse.
Fair enough. We had Andy Aaron on as well with Barry, and PJ Audits was one of the final episodes. He actually shared that onto his channel. He's done much better on his than what it has on ours.
I've seen that.
But you know, he's got a huge following. But it was good of him to share our episode. I actually got locked in and looked at the comments, and they're actually pretty all right. No one really slagging us off
Is that the ones on his
on
channel?
PJ's channel. Yeah.
I read a few, and there were some people saying that he stuck it to us, and I thought
He didn't.
it wasn't like it was,
No,
it was just
certainly not.
a
It
nice
was-
conversation.
It was a really good chat actually. A few people who I've seen since have actually watched the episode, and they were quite surprised as to how
Open.
open,
Yeah.
nice, normal he seemed, and he was off camera. He was
Oh,
great.
he's a genuinely nice guy, absolutely.
Yeah, just maybe not get that opinion from some of the people he's had run-ins with.
No, absolutely, yeah.
So the numbers on the YouTube channel, whilst they're, it's there for everyone to see. We're not exactly Mr. Beast's YouTube channel. We're not raking in hundreds of millions of views, but I think for our market, for where we've started from, it's where we hoped it'd be. And the listening figures are decent as well. And it's just information out there for our staff, colleagues, clients, etc. to have a look at whenever they want. So coming into season 2, double episode we're recording today. After this one, we've got Lee Turner coming on, who picked up the mantle from Adam Jones on outing all the WhatsApp groups. So we're going to have a bit of a deep dive with Lee, which will be a really interesting episode because it's not gone away. If anything, it's probably getting worse.
Yeah.
His post, certainly in like the last month or so, he's daily, isn't he, now, with the updates and the screenshots of like the £9 an hour for 14 hours or whatever.
I want to know how he gets on all these WhatsApp groups in the
I
first
know.
place. But we'll ask him. We'll ask him
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he says.
No, but that's definitely going to be interesting. Definitely.
But we've got a number of other guests in the pipeline as well. So we've got Ian from the Greater Manchester Good Employment Chat. Whilst we haven't got a date locked in, he is,
Yep.
and he's keen to come on. We have Molly coming on from the Down Syndrome Association, and Paul and Luke are going to come on as well. For that, so that'll be a double episode.
So Alan's going to miss that. That's when you go on holiday.
Well, is it?
Unfortunately.
Is he going to miss
He's
it?
going to dial in from.
What for Luke?
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely going to dial in for that one.
Yeah, so
Going to dial in from Catalonia.
Yeah.
So that'll be, we're on episode 13, so that'll be episode 15, probably in mid-October, I think it'll be released. So you're away for, 4 months, 5 months on holiday?
No,
3.5 weeks.
3 weeks. Well, 3 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah. Careful. A well-earned break.
absolutely.
Because you don't take holidays like me and Nick here, there, and everywhere.
I don't
Bank it all in one go.
Every weekend you seem to be having a long weekend.
So we've got that on. So you'll be dialing in with your Bermuda shirt on your tablet with
Absolutely.
a margarita,
Me pineapple top, so definitely.
upside down pineapples. And you actually messaged me yesterday, Nick, didn't you, about the living wage wanting to come on?
Yeah, so again, I think it's just finalising the dates, but they're really keen. It'd be probably a good idea to link that with Living Wage Week,
Yes, which is coming up in
November.
which is a nice little segue onto the next part of the update. So you're actually now heavily involved with the living wage. And
Yeah, so I've joined the leadership group of the Living Hours. So if you were to go on the website, you'd see that I think Living Wage, there's 5,000 plus accredited employers now, which is great. You go on to Living Hours, I think there's 60 Living Hours. And I put a LinkedIn post out not that long ago, effectively saying there's no point being living wage if you're not going to be living hours. So I'll guarantee you 12 quid an hour, but I'm not going to guarantee you an hour. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So there's a big push on what we can do around living hours to really get some momentum going and to increase the number of employers.
you're quite an advocate as well, aren't you, for almost reshaping how the living wage is set. 'Cause it's set into two different categories, isn't it? You've got your companies like us that will only pay living wage or above, and then
The recognised service provider.
yeah,
So
where
I was quite vocal at the last. So we had a leadership group in last month. So we're in August, and we've got another one in December. They're actually coming to our office in Manchester. We're gonna host the event, and I raised during the last meeting that I don't see the point of a recognised service provider, which effectively, for those who don't know, it means we will try
you'll bid.
to do it. Yeah. So if for someone in our industry, security cleaning, they'll put a proposal in for whatever the individuals are currently paid, but then they'll put an alternate proposal in for living wage and give people an option.
Yeah.
And a lot of customers look at it and say, well, this is 5% cheaper, so I'll go for the cheaper option. So I wasn't on my own. I think there were 16 of us on the group. And I was saying I don't understand the point of having this anymore. I think we're in a position now where we understand what good employment looks like. We understand what a living wage should be. I mean, this might all change completely under Labour over the next couple of months.
Well, I was going to say we've got the autumn statement coming, haven't we?
So that'll be really interesting. But yeah, the feedback was, I think everyone on the group was saying, yeah, we agree. We don't know why it exists anymore.
I think it muddies the waters, doesn't it? You know, from a client perspective, looking at that, you've got somebody who's looking to have a company with good employment, but you're working towards something isn't achieving it. Doesn't make sense.
Well, people use the logo, so the
Right,
logos are
exactly,
identical
yeah.
apart from recognised service provider
Yeah.
and employer. And people look at it and just see living wage, and think, oh, they're living wage, that's fine.
Yeah.
Where actually on paper it doesn't mean
It doesn't mean anything.
an awful lot.
So, like, who's involved in the leadership groups? Is it a whole
So
mix?
Yeah, there's a variety of people. So there's people who specialise just on living hours, there's people who specialise on living wage, and then obviously the third one, which I actually said to you before this not to mention, but I'll touch on it slightly, is living pension. So that's the next stage of the journey for us. Currently, we pay a contribution of 3% to all our staff's pension. We want to get to 7%, but it's a big investment.
That would be our investment as well.
That would be our investment. So we do have some targets on when we want to get there, and it's not a distant target. It's relatively quite soon. So hopefully by the time we get to Living Wage Week, we'll get the foundation to come on to a podcast, and we'll be able to give a bit more information around living pension then.
Very good, very good. So we can touch on Greater Manchester Good Employment Charter as well again. It's popular subjects that we always talk about, but again, that's another thing with recognising good employment. You've been busy with them as well.
Yeah, so I had a meeting with Ian, started last week, and Gillian Drakeford, I think, end of last week, and we've got Good Employment Week coming up. Week commencing the 7th of October, so that's going to be a busy week for us. We're going to the launch event over at Circle Square on the Monday, And then on the Thursday, I've been asked to, and this is a bit I'm uncomfortable with, so I'm happy presenting, but they've asked me to present my leadership journey. So it's less about Adept and more about me, and I don't really like talking about me. So I've agreed to do it, one session in the morning, one session in the afternoon. They've asked 3 different business leaders to do it. So there's myself, there's John Herring. So John Herring is from the NHS in Greater Manchester. He won Leader of the Year at the Greater Manchester Good Employment Awards. He's got a really good story. I think he's actually changed what that set of views good employment to be. So it'd be really interesting to hear what he's got to say. And then the other person is Sora. So Sora's from SAS Media. They actually, when they've come to our office to record, so I think Sora's been a couple of times, so you may have met her. She's the founder of SAS Media, a good employer in Manchester. So again, it'd be really interesting to see her sort of background and story on creating SAS.
So you've got to brief everyone on what it was like working in Burnley Job Centre, getting punched.
That's it. Yeah, starting as a security officer, being spat at. So
You know, I think it's a really good. I know you're playing it down a little bit. I think it's a really good story to share that you've gone from working in a job centre as a security officer, and then that journey right the way through to an MD, and it's still hopefully on the way up. So I think I don't downplay that. That's something to be very proud of.
But I think you're down for coming. Alan's on holiday still.
When is it again?
I think it's 4 weeks after Alan goes on holiday, and then 2 weeks before he comes back. So
Never going to live this down.
that's the Thursday. So that's the 10th of October, I think it is.
10th of October. I have to double check my diary, make sure I'm double booked myself.
Yeah.
I treble booked myself like I did yesterday. So we can advise on our recent award winners now. So we've gone through Q1. We've obviously given an update on that previously. We last month awarded and presented the Q2 winners. So we had 2 winners from the Yorkshire side, 1 from South Yorkshire, and then a couple from Greater Manchester. So winning, acting with uncompromising integrity and honesty was Chris Matthews, who works at the Granary in Leeds. He's been down there. He's been with us for just short of a couple of years, but he's been like the head security building manager, building supervisor down at the Granary for just over a year now. My KPIs with the client are always just, I mean, they're like 5 minutes. It's just a dream client. Chris does a superb job. And he'd been chipping away at a few things for us on site. Like, he's a huge advocate for Adept. He's always trying to upsell us to tenants in the building.
Right.
And I got some nice feedback from Ollie. We put a nice nomination through, and Chris won that. Saeed Shami won People First. So Saeed Shami,
And then he left us.
and then the day he got the award was his last day. So Shami worked at City Square in Leeds. The incident he was involved in was member of the public came into the building, was wandering around, starting to get a little bit loud and leery, and then he pulled out some sort of blunt instrument and jumped over the reception desk, locked himself in the office that they have behind the desk. Anyway, Shami dealt with it as he always kind of does in his deadpan, very serious demeanour. But he handled the situation brilliantly, called the police. Police actually pepper sprayed the guy and took him away in cuffs and shoved him in the back of the van. But he just dealt with it superbly. I don't think a lot of the tenants even knew what was happening, knew it had happened.
Oh, he's fantastic, he's Shami. He'll be a big loss to us, but obviously he's gone on to a great opportunity.
Yeah, he's moved on to an FM role, so hopefully down the line he may come knocking at our door, because he knows that we're a decent employer, and that was a good opportunity for us to do a couple of internal promotions as well. So Lasma, who works with Shami, she stepped up, and we've moved Jermaine into a more senior position as well. So that's all going good. Al, your award was for South Yorkshire?
Yeah, at Chesterfield, so FI, HQ, and the quad, two cleaning staff. Again, KPIs since we took on a contract in January this year have been amazing, fantastic, and both Heather and Dana provide a fantastic service to Adept, but more importantly to the client. The clients had numerous positive feedbacks about the team there. So Dana and Heather were presented a reward last month, and yeah, absolutely delighted with it. Over the moon, and from them joining Adept in January, has been a major transition for them. The feedback from themselves is about Adept has been fantastic. So
I first met
very, very, very happy.
both of them on the induction, and I think I said to him, I said, it's ridiculous how much they love Adept. I'm like, well, why are you so happy? What do we actually do? And a lot of it is the basics, like paying them on time is a big one, but
Giving them equipment and
just giving them the tools they need and actually engaging with them.
Yeah,
But
I think the engagement aspect has been absolutely key, and feeling part of the company.
Well, you got to think. So Heather and Dana don't necessarily work long hours. Might be slightly unsocial hours sometimes. So companies they've worked for in the past didn't visit them, so they didn't get to see any managers. Didn't get to see any directors, and I think things like that mean a lot. And I think it shows.
Absolutely.
I mean, going back to us winning the engagement award at the Great Manchester Good Employment Awards, it means a lot. So especially in our industry of just going to see people. So yeah,
just time, isn't it? Just give people your time.
Yeah.
And Nick, so there was Anand.
yeah. So Anand, who is our soft services manager in Manchester, so he's very passionate about his temple. He gives up so much of his own time. He becomes a steward for their events himself. He'll go down and he'll donate his own time. He's constantly asking us for stuff. So I think he's nabbed a few toilet rolls off us in the past, some cleaning materials. Every time I speak to him, there's always something happening at the temple.
Yeah.
And in fact, he came to see me yesterday because we're planning the 12 days of giving for December this year. And he wants to get really involved, and he's actually arranging a blood drive at the temple, and he's going to get his community at the temple involved as well. So we're going to go down on one of the days. People who want to go down and donate blood are going to go down one of the days, and we're going to be involved in the temple as well. But yeah, he's just a really good guy. Loves to work, very passionate about his community. So I think he was a very deserving winner.
Definitely. And then finally the team award.
The cleaning team on Springfield's estate. So Form, our clients who manage the estate, they've recently achieved, is it green flag status?
Green flag,
yeah. And a big part of that on the build up to it was the standard of work that our cleaning team delivered. So we got a very nice email from Gillian, who's the estate manager, telling us how fantastic the team have been. And I think for that quarter, it was rightly decided that team would win the award.
I think as well, the Green Flag Award it's a big deal.
No,
It's
but
massive.
That's not easily given out.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, it is green spaces, so parks, a place like cemeteries and the way they're looked after. And for a city centre estate to receive a green flag is massive, absolutely massive, and it just demonstrates the commitment by the clients, and obviously we've supported them.
And they've been working for it for quite a while.
It's a long process. Luckily, I've been in the past. In a previous life, I've been kind of involved on the fringes of it, and it's a fair process. So.
Yeah,
So a great achievement for them.
Massive,
and obviously
massive.
we played our part, and because of that, the team was awarded.
So yeah, we'd tip our hat. Well, if we had them, you can tip your
Yeah.
hat to Form. They've also picked up B Corp.
B Corp.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, again, we're very early stages of our sort of interaction with B Corp, but I sat down with Fatima and Amy, who were instrumental in Form achieving that standard.
What is B Corp? Sorry, 'cause I don't know.
It's all around business standards, effectively. So it's a lot of the stuff that we do already. So it'll be around sustainability, around good practices, around good employment. And from talking to Fatima and Amy, they actually turned around and said, "Why don't you go for it?" So we're now in dialogue with them, supporting us achieving that level as well. So again, very early stages. Certainly, the next time we get together, we'll give you a bit more of an update, and perhaps it might be worthwhile getting Fatima to come on one of the podcasts, and she can tell us about Form's journey and how she's supporting us, because the part of Form that Fatima works with is Form Sustain. and we've actually partnered with them regarding our sustainability strategy, so they've supported massively. So I think it'd be really good to sort an episode out with Fatima.
Yeah. So all the previous winners will obviously come along with us to the annual awards in February, March time.
Yeah, it's going to be the final date is yet to be confirmed, but it's going to be end of February, early March. Once we've awarded the Q4 winners, we've got a location confirmed, so that's going to be the Dome at the ABC building on Key Street in Manchester, with a view to then after the awards evening to go down to Side Street to the bar, and people who want to carry on drinking through the night can do so.
Fun Alan will come out again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're actually coming towards the end of Q3 now, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah, so we'll be due
End of this month.
another announcement. Maybe we look at rattling those through when Luke comes on the podcast. Maybe he can announce the winners for us.
I don't think we'll have time, will we? Who knows? Luke would love that. He would love that.
Yeah. So I was just going to say we touched on the venue being locked in, which is good. So we've got a new homepage as well on the website. If people want to see that.
I actually didn't realise it was live, to be honest.
Live for about 2 weeks.
Neither did I, to be honest.
We still got a bit of work to do on it. There's still a few photographs which are from the previous website that need updating, but we've got a photo shoot planned in. But yeah, we've engaged with a company called Solvi, who are supporting us with our marketing needs. So they're the company that do some great little cuts of these clips, and they'll put them online. They support us with things like LinkedIn and Instagram and the website. I think the only thing holding us back to doing more there is the three of us finding more time. But no, they're great, and I think we'll see big changes from our marketing point of view.
Yeah, I think only of a couple of updates would be FPL, Fantasy Premier League. So we're back this week after an international break. So for those who don't know, we have a Fantasy Premier League where everyone's chipped in a bit of money, and there's prizes at the end of the season. We're running a monthly Manager of the Month, which our former accountant Darren Everall won for August. So congratulations, Darren. I saw in because there was a post on LinkedIn, and he put, "Hopefully my luck continues," and like you were like, "Hopefully it doesn't."
Yeah.
Like that. So well done to Darren. But I think I'm about 16th in the league at the minute, or something like that.
There's a long way to go. It's game week 4 now.
Yeah.
So
I think I've made I ain't got Haaland.
we'll look at Christmas. I think I'm wildcarding this week, so either this week or game week 6, I'll have a proper look. But yeah, Darren, he finished 4th last year, so I were above him last year, and I bumped into him in Manchester last week, and I guaranteed him that I'll finish above him again this year. So we'll see.
I think only other update from me, I put a post up on LinkedIn the other day about it. Martin Smith, who's our control and estate room manager,
Head of estate.
Yeah.
head of estate for Spinning Fields and St
John's, Enterprise City. Yeah, it depends what you want to call it.
Yeah. He and I took a trip down to Canary Wharf the previous week to recording this. So the estate control room manager down at Canary Wharf looking after the entire estate is a guy called Danny Brotheridge, who I know through the Security Institute and some of the work that I do with them. And I reached out to him a couple of months ago and said, would you mind if we came down and had a couple of hours of your time and had a wander around and see how you kind of do things? Obviously, Canary Wharf is similar to Spinning Fields, but on a much bigger scale. And I was completely blown away by the setup that they have down there. I mean, the control room is just immense. It's huge, and it's got all the latest and greatest technology that works for them. But yeah, just such a huge operation, but just done with such precision and such accuracy and like care and attention and detail. It was superb. It was a really good day. I think one of the biggest takeaways that I took was how they recruit. So their control room, obviously they're looking after thousands of cameras, intercoms for different areas in and out of the estate. And they actually they've got people in the control room now who are like former air traffic controllers and former people who worked in like the emergency services control rooms, like the ambulance dispatch and police control rooms and things like that. That got me thinking that, you know, we sometimes tend to kind of close our market a little bit to the security industry. Maybe we need to widen our horizons a little bit when recruiting and maybe look into other fields as well. But really, really interesting day. We had great weather as well, which is always nice when we're clocking up like 15, 16,000 steps walking around Canary Wharf, because we literally started at the control room in Canada Square, the big original building, and then went all the way around. Really, really interesting. Really fascinating day. So Danny's actually keen to come on and have a chat with us. So I think he's going to come up potentially in October, and we'll have a run through.
We'll have to bend his ear about his recruitment strategies then and see what it is to do.
But
whether it's luck or judgment, is it just so happen that those individuals applied for the roles, or are they targeting those individuals?
But again, another advocate for good employment. I mean, the wages that they pay their controllers is very, very good, and the frontline security officers as well is really good, and that just kind of shows, you know, you pay well, you pay for a good service, and you get it in return. I don't think I've really got anything else unless you guys have.
I've got football next week.
Yes, so we're taking part in the Connect Yorkshire, which is a networking company. They're running a five-a-side tournament in, I think it's just near Wetherby, actually. So we'll be taking part in that. We've got our new kit on order, which will be banked for, I'm guessing, future charity games that
we'll arrange something.
Hopefully be doing. That'll be the first time I've kicked off football in 4 or 5 years. I'm not looking forward to it.
Low expectations then.
Very, very low. I'm expecting.
So is this the one where we get an ex-pro playing for us as well?
Should have been.
Is that happening?
I got an email yesterday because they had to move dates around and things like that, and they couldn't commit to it.
So we need to find a few more players, don't we?
Yeah.
So we can't really ask anyone because this will be released afterwards. Yeah. But I mean, the next episode we can tell them
how we got on.
Yeah. So
crutches and everything.
Yeah, we'll see what we can find. We'll get a few more players in.
Cool. Anything else to you guys?
No, I don't think so. 12 days we spoke about. We'll probably do an episode on that next month or something.
Yeah. So 12 days of Christmas. Hopefully we'll have a better. Well, we will have better marketing on that because we've got
Solvay
some to help us. So we'll better publish that. But we'll be doing relatively similar things to what we did last year. So like blood donations. Alan, you'll be doing the like care packages and things like that for the homeless.
Yeah, we have another idea which I'm not going to mention yet, but the one we spoke about overlapping over the 12 days. So that'll be really interesting if we can get that sorted. So I think you had a few actions on beg, borrowing, and stealing some bikes perhaps, but we'll. I
did actually, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll pick that up before. I think we're catching up on Wednesday next week.
Yeah.
So we can have a look at it.
Cool. And that's I suppose that's all for today then. So we will see you for the next episode.
Okay. Cheers.